Hello friends, welcome back to VOWIAS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 22nd of February 2022 and now we are going to discuss 5 MCQs based on the current affairs. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. But before we begin, a small information. The PDF of the discussion can be downloaded at free of cost from our Telegram channel. The Telegram channel details are there in the description. You can go and download. Now let's look at the first question. First question is, Haber process, sometimes mentioned in the media, is related to A. Manufacturing of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen. B. Refining bauxite to produce aluminum. C. Create unnatural organisms, organic molecules by using genetic sequencing, editing, etc. And D. None of the above. The correct option is A. Manufacturing of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen. Sorry. Recently, the Power Ministry has notified green ammonia policy for production of green hydrogen or green ammonia policy using renewable sources of energy. That's why this was news. Under this policy, the government is offering to set up manufacturing zones for production, connectivity to interstate transmission system on priority basis, and free transmission for 25 years if the production facility is commissioned before June 2025. This means that a green hydrogen producer will be able to set up solar power plants in Rajasthan to supply renewable energy to a green hydrogen plant in Assam and would not be required to pay any interstate transmission charge. Besides, the producer will be allowed to set up bunkers near ports for storage of green ammonia for export by shipping. Green ammonia is a production where the process of making ammonia is 100% renewable and carbon free. One way of making ammonia is by using hydrogen from water, then electrolysis, and nitrogen separated from the air. Then these are fed into the Haber process known as the Haber-Bosch and all are powered by the sustainable electricity, something like maybe a solar electricity or electricity by solar. In this Haber process, hydrogen and nitrogen, they react together at high temperature and pressure to produce ammonia. Okay, so these are the things. Now let's go to this next question, the second question. The nationwide soil health card scheme aims at: first one, expanding the cultivable area under irrigation. Second one, enabling the banks to assess the quantum of loans to be granted to the farmers on basis of soil quality. Third one, checking the overuse of fertilizers in the farmlands. Which of the following are correct statements? A 1 and 2, B 3, C 2 and 3, and D 1, 2 and 3. We have to choose the correct option, and the correct option is B 3 only. Every year, India observes Soil Health Card Day on 19th of February to commemorate the launch of Soil Health Card Scheme, and 2022 marks the 7th year for the launch of scheme. So basically, Soil Health Card Scheme is to tell the quality of soil. This is not to expand the cultivable area under irrigation, or it is not something which is to enable the banks to assess the quantum of loans. Okay, so the loans what the banks will be giving does not depend on the quality of soil. Soil health card basically will tell the farmer what is the quality of soil and what are the things, what are the steps that they can take will be known by the farmers so that they can take appropriate decisions to improve the productivity. Okay, so the Prime Minister has launched this soil health card scheme on 19th of February 2015 at Suratgarh in Rajasthan. And the scheme aimed at issuing soil health card for all the farmers for every 2 years. Remember this, 2 years. Okay, because if a statement is given in the question, these are the small trivial things that they'll change. The soil health card is printed report which contains nutrient status of the soil with respect to 12 nutrients: pH, electrical conductivity, organic carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, zinc, boron, iron, manganese, copper of farm holdings. It is a scheme promoted by and being implemented through the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation under Ministry of Agriculture. Okay, so these are the things about the soil health card. So as this is the 7th anniversary, so you might expect a question. Okay, so just go through it carefully. Now let's go to the third question. The question is with regarding the eco-sensitive zones. First statement, eco-sensitive zone is a buffer or transition zone around high protected areas like the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and may extend up to 10 kilometers around the protected area. Second statement says, eco-sensitive zones are notified by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. You have to choose the correct option, A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. So if you see, here we have to choose the incorrect statement. Okay, so the first statement is right. This is the basic definition of an eco-sensitive zone. Eco-sensitive zone is the buffer zone which is around a national park or any protected area. Second one, if you see second statement, it is given that eco-sensitive zones are notified by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This is right. But It is notified not under the Wildlife Protection Act. It is notified under the Environment Act. It is notified under the Environment Protection Act of 1986. Okay, so that is why the second statement will be wrong and the first statement will be right. And here, as we have to choose the incorrect statement, so B2 only is the correct answer. Recently, Tamil Nadu government has made clear to the Supreme Court that it does not want the Indian Neutrino Observatory to be set up in the eco-sensitive zone in Western Ghats. So, eco-sensitive zone or ecologically fragile area are the areas within 10 kilometers around the protected areas, national parks and wildlife sanctuary. So, neutrinos, already we have seen what the basic definition of neutrinos and what are neutrinos. These are particles that are there in the universe, and this neutrino research is being going on, as we all know. And a neutrino observatory, actually the central government has planned to set up a neutrino observatory in the Bodhi Hills in the Western Ghats in Tamil Nadu, but Tamil Nadu government is objecting this project. Okay. So the Tamil Nadu government says that this is an ecologically fragile area and nothing should be established over there, right? So this ecologically sensitive zones, they are notified by the Environment Ministry under the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. This is the important thing. And the basic aim is to regulate certain activities around the national park and wildlife sanctuaries so as to minimize the negative impact of such activities on the fragile ecosystem encompassing the protected areas. As per the Wildlife Conservation Strategy 2002 to 2005 and Supreme Court judgments, the area may generally extend up to 10 kilometers around the protected area. If the sensitive corridors connecting ecologically important patches crucial for the landscape are involved, then the areas beyond 10 kilometers width can also be notified as ecologically sensitive zones. Okay, so this is all the information about ecologically sensitive zones. Now let's move on to the next question, the fourth question. The Frontiers report named Noise, Blazes and Mismatches Emerging Issues of Environmental Concern is released by the A. IUCN, B. UNEP, United Nations Environment Programme, C. Niti Aayog and D. FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization. You have to choose the correct option, and the correct option is B. UNEP, United Nations Environment Programme. The Frontier report is released by United Nations Environment Programme, and the report is named Noise, Blazes and Mismatches Emerging Issue in the Environmental Concern. This report, which has been released before the UN Environmental Assembly, focuses on rising public health problems that are disrupting natural life cycles and causing environmental impact around the world. Now let's move on to the fifth question. The Montague-Chelmsford proposals were related to A. Social reforms, B. Educational reforms, C. Reforms in police administration and D. Constitutional reforms. So Montague-Chelmsford proposals, it's a previous year CSC question of 2016. Sometimes in civil services, very easy questions are asked. Okay, so everyone knows the Montague-Chelmsford reforms are the constitutional reforms. Option D is the correct answer. The Montague-Chelmsford reforms were announced by the British government in the year 1919. So during this time, so there might be a question, is Montague the Viceroy or Lord Chelmsford? The correct option is Montague is basically the Secretary of State. And Chelmsford is the Viceroy. Okay, so they have announced this Montague-Chelmsford reforms in 1919. They were the constitutional reforms. They were announced as part of the transfer of responsible government in India as an integral part of the British Empire. And important provisions of the Act, if you see, a separate preamble and end of benevolent despotism, introduction of diarchy. This is the important thing. Diarchy was introduced, and after this, this act basically made central legislature the bicameral. This is one of the important thing, bicameral, and the act provided for establishment of the Public Service Commission in India for the first time. Okay, so these are the important things. And the same data is given here. You can just go through it once again. Okay, so these are the 5 questions for the day. And before I leave a small information, we are providing Vision summaries, Vision Prelims test series summaries, as well as Vision monthly magazine summaries. Okay, you can subscribe to these summaries by visiting our Telegram channel. The Telegram channel details are there in the description. You can also check the quality of these summaries by visiting our Telegram channel. Okay, so that's it guys from our side. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.